Hi everyone, this is a quick go by me to show you how easy it is to do a roast on the Kaffelogic Nano 7, doing it in the kitchen, which I shall show you here on my hob, and I've got my laptop here and I'm going to go onto the Kaffelogic Studio Kaffelogic Studio, and then I'm also going to go to the website and I'm going to download a profile that a user has put on there, a filter profile. I've got a couple of coffees here. I've got an Ibanda, which is a Ugandan natural, and a Colombian natural that I'm going to do roasts of. So first things first, going to go over to the laptop and I'm going to plug the Kaffelogic USB in. And it's appeared on the screen here. And so now I'm going to open up Studio. And I am going to go to the website and I'm going to download. I'm going to go to Kaffelogic. And I'm going to go to the support and I'm going to go to the community forum. And I'm going to go to user contributed. There's a forum here, and in there there's some profiles that have been contributed by users, and I'm going to click in there. And then if I click on this tab, here's a profile that's been created by somebody who has worked in the industry, had his own Dietrich and his own Lauren Kestrel, Kaylin, I believe it is the user. And I'm going to download his filter origin profile, which will go into my download section. I've actually already downloaded this, but I'm just showing you the method that I'm using. I'm then going to go into my Nano 7, and I'm going to go into my roast profiles, and what I would normally do is go to my download section, and then I would take that profile there and drop that in to the filter profiles like that, so it's now in here. So then I will take the Nano 7, the thumb drive, and I will remove it. I will remove it from the dock. Bearing in mind I am on, actually I might have to quit out of Studio, Kaffelogic Studio first before I do that. And then I will remove the thumb drive and I will take it over and I will place it into the Kaffelogic. Right, so now I'm going to turn the machine around. I'm going to turn it on. Make sure we can see what's going on here. Bring this in closer. Can you see that? Make sure we haven't got too many reflections. Right, turn it on. The on switch there. Then I'm going to press the profiles button here, and I'm going to follow the instructions which says press to load. Well, I'm going to run through the available profiles, which you do by repeatedly pushing the profiles button. until I get to Filter Origin, which is the one that I've just downloaded. So I'm going to press the button to load that. And the darkness is set here, the level of roast degree, which is set at light, and you can configure that yourself, but I'm going to go with the light version because that's basically the one that has been developed for. And now I'm going to pour my beans into the measuring cup there, and I'm going to pour them into the top here. So you can see, there they are. Then it's just a question of pressing the start button and away we go. I'm putting the chaff collector back on. So now it's just doing its thing, and I'm going to go if I push the play button now, I get live data which will tell me the length of the roast here, and it will give me the degrees that it's rising by. This is the ROR. This is the wattage being used, and the fan speed. So when we get to crack, I'm going to push this button here, and then I can log my crack when I hear cracking sound, which I normally get when I'm around between 205 to 208 degrees, but I'm going to keep an ear out now for it and then see if I can hear it going. That's cracked for me there, I think. I heard crack going there. I definitely hear it rolling now. So this is now giving me an indication of my development percentage. We're now around 20% development. I think that the roast is almost done now, and we'll be going into the cooling phase in a minute. So we've entered the cooling phase now. I may have called the first crack a tiny bit early, I think, on that, but so cooling will take, I think it's a good couple of minutes, maybe a bit longer. I'm going to get the next batch of coffee ready to go now. Just to illustrate that this is, you know, how one is able to do back-to-back roasting on this machine. So one of the things that Kaffelogic have changed with the cooling process is they have extended it in order to facilitate the back-to-back, so they're really making sure that the machine's totally ready to go again once you've done your roast and emptied your chamber. So we're now done. It's that was as you can see on there was a total roast time of 9 minutes 39 and a cooling period of 3 minutes 50. So now I'm going to take the chaff collector off, and I'm going to dispense the beans. And then that will have been stored in that roast will have been stored on the memory stick. So there's our roast. And now it's going to be, next up is going to be a Colombian natural as well, which I've got lined up. So I'm just going to go straight in and do that as well, just to illustrate the ability to do the back-to-back roasting here. So you're going to have to excuse, this is a little bit of a smash and grab video, I'm afraid, guys. So we are going to load up the chamber with the next one, put the chaff collector on, and I'm going to get that ready to go, and I'm going to hit the same, we're going to go with the same profile here, and we're just going to hit play, and we're off again. And I'm going to turn the fan on as well above. Right, so now the roasts are done, we just we turn the machine off and we take the Kaffelogic memory stick and we plug that back into our computer. And then we notice that when we go into the stick and we look at the logs, we can see that we've got our two latest logs, which will be 22 and 23 here. So I will take those and import those into, I will open that up and it will open up into Kaffelogic Studio. So here we can see this is the roast and how it's followed the profile. I think I'm pretty sure I marked first crack a bit early. I should have probably logged it at more like 2:07. So I can do that and then I can save this log out. And I'm going to put into this one, I'm going to put that this is a Uganda Ibanda. Right everyone, I just thought I'd come back and open up Kaffelogic Studio again and just go over that Uganda Ibanda profile again, because I cut it quite short. This is quite a quick video, not such a polished affair. I'm sorry about that, guys, but anyway, here we go. So this is the log profile of the actual roast, and as you say, in the actual roast I logged my first crack at around 204, I think it was, or just after 204 degrees C. I actually reacted a bit quickly, I think, because that was just the first pop, and actually it was probably more likely to be, it was more likely a bit later, and I think I put in fact put 207.9 here, as you can see, as my first crack time. Interestingly, if we go into the roast profile curve, we can see that the time that actually was expected as first crack here was 206, which is the expected first crack time of 206. So I actually think it's probably somewhere in between, and funny and interestingly enough, also we can log this point, look at this point here, and then that gives us the expected finished, or that tells us the finish time of the roast there. So I'm going to go back based on that now and just change my first crack, because I think it was probably more likely to have been 206.9, which brings us in more or less in with what the profile was supposed to do, which was a 20% development time. So as I said, logging first crack is slightly dependent on how one does it. Some people go by the first pops, some people go by the first 3 pops in a row, and some people go by once the crack's actually rolling. But anyway, I tend to go once I hear a succession of pops, and actually on that last one I think I went more on the first pop, probably partly to do with the fact that I was recording the video. So anyway, other things that we can look at here is that this is the fan profile. So this shows you the ramp of the fan basically, and then we've got information here in about telling you all about who the designer was of this profile. It's giving you where I logged first crack, end temp, etc. it gives also details on the firmware, hours, ambient temperature, etc., and then you've got this tab here which gives you the all the heating times. There are a number of areas or sections in the roast where you can apply power adjustments to the curve. This all gets quite in depth, and it's something that I'm still looking into, so I'm not going to do a detailed breakdown on this, but needless to say, the curves the profiles are infinitely adjustable here. So anyway, I hope that gives you some information on the Nano 7. Thanks very much. Bye.